Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So King Solomon on Twitter at XRP_owl posted this on March 5th. And I have to say these island nations like Aruba are really finding the benefit with RippleNet because they are so small in size and population that for them to do business across borders, and a lot of these island nations do have money, do have a lot of wealthy people who reside there, they want to be able to conduct business as well. And so RippleNet seems to be a perfect fit for a lot of these countries like Aruba, who is implementing Equins Worldline. We know Equins Worldline is a partner of Ripple, multiple cross-border payment initiatives forcing banks to maintain access to various instant payment networks, and one of them is DLT, i.e. Ripple. So this article here states, Aruba's entire banking community has switched to instant payments using the clearing and settlement mechanism of the Central Bank van Aruba, which was implemented by Equins Worldline, a subsidiary of Worldline, the European leader in the payments and transactional service industry. And we can see here, banks embrace Ripple to move beyond testing to real-world transactions. This from an Equins Worldline document way back a few months ago now, demonstrating how XRP is going to be used. So a connection there. Thanks so much, XRP_owl. Matthew LINY posted this on Twitter. Professional Credentials Exchange partners with R3. So Professional Credentials Exchange, a Tampa, Florida-based digital marketplace for credentialing that allows members healthcare organizations to secure, share, exchange, and monetize their credential verification data, completed a $3.5 million initial seed funding round. The round was led by Spectrum Health Ventures with participation from Martin Ventures, the Hardenberg Group Florida funders, and several strategic healthcare executives. Just going to go down here on this article. The firm has also secured a multifaceted partnership with enterprise software firm R3, which includes license to build the marketplace on top of R3's Corda Enterprise, a distributed ledger platform trusted by many financial institutions and Fortune 500 companies. And guys, we know R3 has the potential to settle in XRP. So we're seeing more and more adoption in the space. I also saw this from XRP_owl on Twitter. XRP is like gold in your hand. And guys, this from Ripple's own website. He posted a link here with a diagram that shows you XRP as a vehicle currency. XRP in Ripple is like gold in your hand. It is an asset without counterparty and plays the role of a bridge currency between exotic gateways. This is similar to the role of USD in exotic Forex markets. But the beauty of XRP is that it is not tied to one particular nation. And, this is going to help a lot of people outside of the US to be on that level playing field, to be able to do business with countries where transacting has been difficult in the past because of the, because of the foreign exchange, because of the lack of liquidity. Like I was saying before, with the market in some of these island nations, right? Aruba's got their own currency, but how much business does Aruba do compared to, let's say, France or Germany or the United States or China, okay? They don't do as much just because they're not as populated, they're not as large in terms of geographical area, but they still do have people who reside there that want things. And like I said earlier, a lot of the residents in a lot of these countries are fairly well off, so they want their iPhones, right? They want everything we have in the Western world, and we're just lucky enough to be able to go to the store and pick it up. In a lot of these cases, importing is a big issue, and transacting cross-border with other countries can be made easier with a streamlined system when you have the lack of liquidity because you're using the Aruban currency, for example, a currency that isn't widely used outside of Aruba. You can utilize that neutral digital asset, XRP. You're not beholden to the US dollar for exchange rate to find liquidity through that. So, this really is going to help not only poorer countries, but countries where, there is the need, there is the demand, but they don't necessarily have that liquidity. And I keep saying this, XRP is meant to solve for that. The liquidity is key. So just to put things into perspective, back to this here, XRP is like gold in your hand. Beyond their key business, Gateway can increase their utility by providing a Ripple bridge to other payment systems to which they interact. Ripple's Bitcoin bridge is one example, but bridges to other popular payment systems like Alipay in China or M-Pesa in Kenya are also possible. Gateways interact with three external parties, their banking system, the Ripple network, and their users for sending payments. This table shows the implementation effort required at each stage. And so he links down to this article here. It was originally from Ripple's Gateway PDF that they have online here, guys. I will link this in the description if you want to go over this. Take a look at it in more detail. I got to thank King Solomon for posting that link, for posting the source. So thanks so much for that. And moving on to Mark Phillips here at Mark_Phillips on Twitter. And so for those of you guys who do not remember back to last year, this is the guy, Mark Phillips, who deconstructed XRP and figured out that it was designed for a possible top end of $10,000 per coin. Now, guys, I did a video on this last year. I will link this tweet with my Working Money channel video here in the description if you guys have not seen this video, if you're new to the space, if you're the type of person that likes to get riled up again, possibly. I think this is actually the video that got Galgatron to block me. Believe it or not. But I'm sure a lot of you guys can believe that coming from Galgatron. So yes, Mark Phillips, the guy who brilliantly came up with this theory, now points this out, and here's what he has to say. Did you guys notice this? Institutional money is moving into XRP. Notice the growth in the top 0.01% of accounts. Are these governments and or major banks accumulating? Well, it seems to me like it would be. Who else would hold millions of XRP unless you were one of those people who maybe bought at sub 1 penny? Okay, let's assume that the people who are accumulating large quantities of XRP are these types of governments, banks, central banks, financial institutions, what have you. And look at how the numbers increased, okay? So 0.01% of the top accounts. The threshold now is over 20 million XRP. It used to be 17 million just back in December, so only 3 months ago, guys. Now we're seeing it rise to 20.6 million XRP, and that is what is considered the top 0.01%. So that is effectively increased by a fifth, by over a fifth. All right, 20.7%. You know, and you thought you were a high roller in the top 1%, you know, if you had over 73,000 XRP. And you know, for us retail hodlers, I'm sure 100,000 XRP ain't so shabby. But you've got to imagine the people who will be using XRP in the ecosystem, the people who actually need to derive value from it to conduct business and to perform cross-border transactions, they are going to need a lot, especially right out of the gate when the price of XRP is at this low point, right? If you need to transfer $1 million in XRP and XRP is only worth $1, you are going to need 1 million XRP. But let's say XRP is trading at $100 per token and you still want to send that $1 million. Well, now all you need is 10,000 XRP. And this is what David Schwartz was saying way back when in those tweets, right? To transfer value, to hit those high value payments, XRP has to command a higher price. It's just simple math. It's nothing complicated. It's simple math. Okay, so the value of XRP will rise based on how much and how often is used within the XRP ecosystem. And this is why, guys, it's really important to pay attention to what Spring's doing. It's really important to pay attention to all the partnerships that are happening, what Ripple's doing, the fact that Brad Garlinghouse says that, you know, the verticals, right? Today we have one vertical, but the verticals in the future that we want to target are going to be numerous, kind of like with Amazon, how they started with books and how they continued to build from there. Well, Ripple wants to do the same thing right now, focusing on cross-border payments, but who knows what the end result will be in the year 2025, 2030. I think it's very apparent that the sky's the limit for Ripple. And guys, I also just wanted to take the time to thank all of you for subscribing to the channel. We've reached the threshold of 30,000 before March 15th. So I will be giving away a Ledger Nano X on March 16th, but the fact of the matter is you have to be subscribed, and I will know if you're not subscribed. Okay, there's a little trick where I can tell if you're subscribed or not. So guys, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. You could win a Ledger Nano X on March 16th. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for today. It's a short one this afternoon, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.